we have maybe 25 or 30,000 voters in the city of Fort Worth and Tarrant County, and many of them do not go to the polls. Now, we will have to attempt to find some way in Fort Worth where we can motivate our people, wake them up. We used to say a prayer, may I hope I die, if I should die before I wake. I hope our people in Fort Worth will wake before they die.
What do you expect to come out of this convention?
Hopefully, we'll be able to come out with some directions for black people throughout the country.
We must forget our differences and join together to let the world know.
Ladies, thank you very much. That's an assessment from members of the Fort Worth delegation. Has this convention been a success? Has it been a failure? Will this convention spread over into the various communities throughout the United States as far as the black man is concerned? Well, resolutions have been introduced, resolutions have been adopted, some were rejected. The big question now is, 6 months from now, will we see results from the formation of a third party? It'll be interesting to wait and see. Gene McIntyre and Gary, Indiana at the Black Political Conference for 1972 for Channel 8 News on the Move.
Pickup games like this are a way of life around Roosevelt High School. Basketball has always been a big thing here, but never has it been any more important than now since the Mustangs are state champions. And the significance of their victory can be measured by the fact that it is the first for a Dallas high school in basketball since 1962, and the first ever for a Dallas predominantly black high school in 4A competition. And the significance of their achievement has not been lost on the players themselves.
Well, as representing Dallas, well, you know, we knew what we had to do as the represent Dallas. We looked at it as a whole, you know, the whole city of Dallas, you know, not as just Roosevelt, not, you know, just a black team. We represent the whole city.
Well, you know, it's a good feeling anytime you win a state championship, you know, large as Texas is, you know, it means you have the best team in the state. But as far as, you know, us being a predominantly black school, I mean, it should inspire other black teams throughout the city, you know, and surrounding area, you know, to just put a little more into it, you know, to try to bring a championship team to their school.
It's a great feeling, you know, being black and the first team to win the state championship and to represent a city as large as Dallas, you know, and to go down to the big meet and win it. You know, a lot of people saying Roosevelt couldn't win the big game, but we did.
It means a lot to win a high school state championship in basketball. There can be no doubt about that. But apparently, it means just a little bit more if you win the championship for Dallas as a black. Jack Hill, Channel 8 News on the Move.
It's been several years. A couple years ago, I was playing well, but I feel like I'm playing as well or better now than I ever have.
What caused the change? Practice and free from
tired of losing. I went to work.
You didn't lose a set this tournament, lost only 17 games. That's a rarity, isn't it, in a 32 draw tournament?
I guess. I just think that I ran out of gas today, more than anything. I know my legs are still hurting, but and I think, you know, Nancy knew it and just kept, you know, hitting the ball short at my feet at net, and I really wasn't moving too well. You know, Nancy's playing well, but I can't say I really pushed her. I felt that if I was serving well, I'd be able to go to net more, but my serve was not good today, and my volleys weren't really very crisp.
Well, I find that we have the same problems, only a little bit more so because of the language barrier. And we are really working towards getting enough people who are really bilingual or at least native speakers of Spanish to work with them.
We have heard a great deal in Texas about a so-called Chicano policy by President Nixon in an attempt to win votes among the Mexican-American people in his bid for re-election.
Well,
what role does your visit here in Texas have in relation to such a policy?
My visit to Texas has nothing to do with politics. I'm here on a technical trip, and anything political is outside my functions. And I really haven't heard about that Chicano policy. As a matter of fact, many of the Mexicans resent very much being called Chicanos.
We have a weights and measures department here in the city, and they've done a good job, but they are understaffed. We have 6 inspectors in the weights and measures department. Now, those 6 inspectors, we have 928 grocery stores, we have 6,500 gas pumps, we have 2,000 businesses that have scales and weigh things. And on top of that, we've had over 600 complaints last year. Now, those 6 men have to oversee that entire operation, and that's just a small area of consumer protection. There are many more things that the city ought to be involved in the area of consumer protection, such as fraudulent business practices, false advertising, and that type of thing.
What's your reaction to the defeat of your set of rules today?
Well, I'm disappointed in that I had an indication that a number of the people, particularly from the Dallas area, had changed their minds in regard to how they were going to vote. But as you can see from the vote today, this 12 to 10 vote, they did not.
If the Brunson rules are accepted by tomorrow's meeting, do you feel that the National Democratic Party will accept them according to their guidelines?
I do not.
I wanted to see us come up with a compromise set of rules. And I know that both sides, Mr. Brunson and Mr. Anderson both, have been working very hard to try to have a compromise set of rules. And I think probably this is a compromise. I know, as I've said before, that you'll never get rules that completely pleases both sides. And I'm a little disturbed that we can't get down and get a little closer to a unanimous vote on it.
At times, it's kind of hard to say whether or not a person wants to step into this type of work and put as much effort in it as you can. I'd have to wait and see at that time.
Do you plan to remain as State Democratic Party Chairman?
Oh, I don't plan to remain forever, but I intend to remain for a while.
Will you remain throughout the rest of the year?
Well, I'm not going to set any particular time. I'm going to time it when I think it's most appropriate.
Could we say you have no plans to resign at this time?
That's right.